I'm Shreyas. I'm a third-year PhD student here at Columbia DBMI. I'm from the West Coast, specifically from the Bay Area, and spent the last couple of years in New York, and it's been great. I'm excited. In undergrad, I studied at UC Berkeley, and I studied electrical engineering and computer science. I kind of explored a lot of different fields during undergrad. So I obviously did my major requirements, which were mostly focused on computer science, but I also explored different areas like genetics. So I took some upper division classes in genetics, which I enjoyed quite a bit. And yeah, so I think being at Berkeley gave me a great education, great base in problem solving, which has served me very well in the graduate program here at Columbia. Yeah, the first time I heard about informatics was actually in a high school summer program, pretty similar to the one at Columbia. So I spent the summer at Stanford, where I did some research on essentially biostatistics research on how different environmental variables could affect different kinds of phenotypes, like specifically asthma and COPD was the focus of that project. And being exposed to how informatics combined a lot of different related fields like computer science, statistics, and applied that to more biological and health-related problems was something that excited me a lot and inspired me to pursue, I guess, my graduate education in informatics. Yeah, I ended up choosing Columbia because I really like the department's overall research focus, the collaborative nature, and also just everyone is very friendly in the department, which is very, very nice. And I think the focus about actually thinking about ways in which we could impact healthcare, that was particularly intriguing about the program. It was also nice to see that there was kind of a broad focus on a lot of different research areas within informatics. So there's a lot of different research going on in the department to learn about. Yeah, currently I'm in Adler Parat's lab. And as a lab, I guess we're broadly focused on thinking about specifically phenotyping, risk prediction, and causal inference, which are three kind of exciting areas in informatics and broadly in machine learning for healthcare right now. I'm, I guess, particularly excited about a couple projects happening in the lab. One of our projects is related to identifying structural abnormalities in the heart using chest X-rays, and it's something that could potentially allow for early detection of heart failure, which I think could actually have an impact on care. And then we also work on kind of projects on the more theoretical side, which kind of excite me from a problem-solving perspective, specifically related to risk prediction using deep survival analysis approaches. And I think the lab does a really nice job of balancing kind of interesting problems that could have an impact, but also theoretically sound machine learning methods to leverage in service of those problems. Broadly, my research is focused on developing better, less biased methods of risk prediction to specifically for better modeling EHR data for the purposes specifically of stroke and cardiovascular disease risk prediction. One area that I've focused on in the past is thinking about how to deal with missingness in health records data, which is a very persistent problem with EHRs and can introduce bias in prediction models, which can hinder their performance when actually applied in the real world. So since health records have this missingness problem and they're also regularly sampled, this can create problems, obviously, when actually using them in practice. So a lot of my research has been thinking about approaches to detect this missingness in the different features in health records, and also about directly modeling the underlying generative process of health records. And this is all kind of broadly in service of building better, more robust risk prediction models. One piece of advice that I would give someone entering the field in high school or college would be to keep an open mind about your research interests. So I explored many different research areas broadly within informatics, including bioinformatics and like neuroscience research, before I decided that this particular area of research was what I wanted to focus on in my graduate education. So I think that's, if you're thinking about a lot of different research, I think it would be research areas. I think it would be good to explore through summer research programs, through say a semester working with a particular professor in college. So I think those things would be important to figure out what you're actually passionate about and getting kind of more deeply into that. Yeah, as far as future career aspirations, I think I am keeping an open mind still as to whether I want to focus on academia, pursuing like a tenure track position, or whether I want to go into industry. I think recently, especially in the area of machine learning for healthcare and more broadly in informatics, there's been a lot of great opportunities in industry if you want to do interesting research, even in the industry setting, with a lot of different people and collaborate with people. I think there's certainly opportunities in industry. So that has kind of opened up, I think broadly opened up which career paths people are taking.